Today, for the Bitcoin price, we have DavinciJ15 live in our show, and we will talk about that the daily candle, the close of the daily candle, will basically determine if the likelihood is higher of the price going to 11,000 US dollars or actually breaking down to 8,500 US dollars. We will elaborate more on that in the TA, in the charts, and we will also talk about the maybe most important fundamental metric for the Bitcoin price, namely Bitcoin mining revenue and how it has developed within the last few months and what it means for the Bitcoin price. So now, without any further ado, we want you to smash up that like button right now and also come to the most important question of today. DavinciJ15, not wearing green, not wearing red. It is something like a decision time today for the candle. So the most important question of today, how are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing great, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm also doing great, man. I mean, the markets are for some people a little bit exhausting. I mean, prices going down, prices going up. We don't see like huge few $1,000s move like the people are used to it between April and June. But yeah, it might come back, and we want to talk about that today.
Wow. So everybody's like missing the $1,000 swings. Well, you know what? I remember a time when Bitcoin was at what was like $120, and people were so happy that Bitcoin was not moving $50 or $20 in a day, and they were like, "Yes, Bitcoin is finally stable."
Now XRP is the new stable coin at 27 cents.
Insane. Well, you know what? The market, the flows and ebbs and flows of the market and people's sentiment is what drives our price movement. So this is where we are right now. So let's take a look at some charts and see what we've got here. Okay, let's just.
Also for everyone, we will put some timestamps in the pinned comment down below. And what you will also find in the pinned comment is the link of today's video. This is actually the second video of today. We have published a first video also. So after that video, click that link and watch the first video of today, which has major significance and importance for the Bitcoin price also. So now, Da Vinci, the stage is yours as always.
Yeah, so right here, what we have, right, obviously this falling wedge triangle here that we were looking at and thinking, okay, well, if this breaks down, and I remember if you watch Carl's videos, right, he was saying that if we close below his bands here, the EMA ribbons, that things should drop out, and I expected that as much as well. Looking at the daily chart, if we were to bring up the daily chart, I thought, for sure that, whoops, that's not the daily chart here. Let me go here, click here, and then zoom in. I thought for sure, once this thing breaks down and closes here, the bottom's dropping out on this after this candle. And no, this candle just like, yeah, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, no.
And now we've got a green candle over here. If we go back here, we got a green candle. Oh my God, what the hell's going on? Is the bulls have they lost their minds? Has the bears been beaten back? Maybe. And if that seems like the case here, especially if this candle, if it closes like it is right now, pretty much where like it is right now. This is called like, it's not a bull rally 100%, but it is kinda, because we've got the body engulfed by this red candle. And so if we can close above the wick, that means we could go all the way up to at least to the 13 EMA, wherever that is, and check that, and possibly even check this line up here. And then we have to see what happens after the 13 EMA. Does it break above it? And if it does, well, then we could actually check this line up here, which could be probably around $11,000, right? Where we could end up before we actually see a turnaround. Mm-hmm. That's quite interesting. Now, of course, there's the other possibility, right? If we break If we break this bottom line here, then down she goes, and we can and we have to, of course, we have to wait for this line, this trend line, this particular price to be broken to say, okay, we're going to go a lot lower to the 8,000-ish area, where we can see some resistance, of course, in that level here. So let's just draw some boxes for that resistance, right? You can see there's a lot of people. Oops, that's not the box I want. Delete. We can see right in this area here, I'm going to take the magnet off, there's quite a bit of resistance here. And so I could see buyers coming in this area saying, yeah, I'm not letting Bitcoin go that low, and picking up some cheap coins and bouncing this right off of here back into this triangle and maybe even higher. So that's where I would be looking to buy if this thing breaks the $9,000 level. If it goes higher and breaks the 13 MA wherever that is, I'd be looking for a trade higher, going up.
I would also mention something, because DaVinci, you remember, everyone in the world was looking at this symmetrical triangle. Some people were saying we are in a descending triangle, some people in a bullish wedge. So what I would like to do right now is I want to incentivize the audience. There will be popping up a poll on the top of the screen. Click on the poll and let us know right now if you think
right here, right
now, in that immediate short term. Let us know if you think that we are in a symmetrical triangle, or we were in a symmetrical triangle which broke to the downside, whether we were in a descending triangle or in a bullish wedge. Let us know what you think about that. Click it and participate at the poll. And now, DaVinci, please go on. It would be just very nice to see what the audience thinks.
Yes, exactly. Let's break it down to the shorter time frame and see what we see. Let's see here. Are we not getting the shorter time frame? No, we're not. Okay, I'll just head over quickly to Trading View, where I have the shorter time frame. And I know this looks messy with all these different indicators. And I talked about these indicators on the Tone-based shows. He asked me a lot of questions about these indicators. If you're interested in learning more, I talked about that there. So anyways, what we've got here is it's on the 15-minute, we've got Bitcoin wanting to turn around. It's got to break above the 200 period moving average on the 15-minute to say we're going a lot higher. But we're already in the overbought zone here on the 15 minutes, and there's lots of gaps down here. So if you really want to take a shot, right, off of this, what I would suggest is you wait for a buying opportunity in this area right down here, which is between the let's say 9,500 on stamp, between 9,800, 9,480 or something like that. It's a very small gap. You could take a shot anywhere between the 9,500 and 9,400. To see if you wanted to go higher, and then you'd set your stops of course at the last local low, which is like what is it, 93.50. So I mean, that's a small risk to take to see if we go higher.
For this trade, you would actually be waiting for the daily candle to close, and if it closes above your mentioned target, then you would set your buy orders at this specific levels you mentioned right here at 9,500-ish.
No, I mean, this is just if you wanted to believe, if you believe that this rally is going to go higher, I wouldn't open up a trade. You let the market come to you, right? That's our motto, right? I wouldn't open up a trade up here. Just not going to happen. I'd open up a trade down here, so that could be in a position of strength, because the market likes to wick down and go, oh, screw all those people who are long up here, and get them wiped out down here. So keep that in mind.
So for the impatient people hanging out in the 15-minute chart, you would say, okay, if you want to trade it, let the market come to you, and then this specific area would be a buy-in point for longing Bitcoin with a stop loss at 9,350. But for everyone who wants to wait, actually, who is patient and who is looking at the daily chart, you would be looking for the daily candle to close at the previously mentioned levels.
Yeah, and look at that. Look at the interesting section. This sec. I'm gonna zoom this in a little bit. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at where the 61.8 is. Right where the gap is. I mean, it's just like setting up the trade for you, pretty much, like giving it to you free.
Like always, man, the 61.8, no matter on what time frames you are, it always makes some kind of sense always. It's really, really nice to see.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I love the 61.8. And I know some people don't, but for me, it works very, very well, especially if you know how to use it. And then, so yeah, that's our TA for Bitcoin. I mean, we can look at other time frames, but I think you got yourself some set of directions and trades if you were interested, and you could always use your Bybit link to get on the trade. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. And also watch a tutorial. You can watch ours, which is also in the description down below and in the pinned comment. You can also watch another one, but you should know what you are doing. That's very important. Can we go back into the daily? I want to make a small conclusion. So we have, for the impatient ones, we have the 15-minute. We had that exact trading setup. Definitely, guys, do not forget to use stop losses if you want to cut your potential losses. And on the daily, it is very important to wait for that decision time, because whether the day, it really depends on where the daily candle closes. If we wick down below, of course, that will be a very bearish sign, especially if we break the support of the descending triangle. But if we close above the, from DaVinci mentioned target, then that might be a very bullish sign, and it might be a sign of strength for the bulls. So thank you so much for that, DaVinci, and maybe we can share the Coinergy link again in our Telegram community, so everyone who's there, link in description, also in the pinned comment, you can join and also get this trading setup for free.
Yeah, exactly. I lost the trading setup, but because Coinergy kind of crashed there, but I could always redraw this stuff back up.
Easy. But we had something very important. DaVinci, you mentioned there is a very important fundamental metric regarding the miners, and this was actually really, really surprising to see. So maybe we can pull it up also and talk about the impact of it.
Yeah, before we do, we wanted to discuss like the backed, and I honestly, looking at that, this is the date of the backed, and looking at the technical analysis and comparing it with that date, all I see is that all I could see is that this is going to be basically a collective yawn. The market's not gonna, no matter what happens. Personally, I think that that the market's just going to ignore the backed date listing when they are able to do the tradings. It's just gonna come and go, and nothing's really gonna happen based on what we're seeing here. So with that said, let's head over to what the miners have been doing. I was quite shocked. I mean, we were discussing this earlier, and Chris was like, that's not a lot of money. What are you talking about? 14? Their total revenue from the very beginning has been $14 billion. And that's a lot of money for any kind of investment area where you're, especially when you consider the growth. Let's just take a look at the growth.
Yeah, the growth
on
is
January 1st, 2018. The end of the bull market for Bitcoin. The miners in total revenue was $5 billion. Today, with a complete bearish market, they've tripled their revenue. That's unprecedented growth. So you know what that means? Do you know what that means, people? You should be buying mining stocks. Unprecedented growth. Mining stocks are probably going to do very, very well, especially into the next bull run, the next crazy bull run, because the revenue is going to be off the freaking charts.
Yeah, that might actually that might be true. Also, let me correct something. I was not surprised by the total number. What I was really surprised is the growth. So especially like you mentioned, it was at 5 billion, and then all of a sudden within the bear market, it grew to 14 billion, which is a lot in terms of growth. If you consider that the price was going down and this one is measured in US dollar, then either the fees has to go up or the transaction volume, because we know that we have only 12.5 block reward. And as we also know, the fees didn't go up, so definitely the transaction volume, not the volume, but the transaction count actually went up. And this is a very bullish sign in terms of fundamentals. And this was really what was surprising me the most.
Yeah, I find it very interesting, and I mean, you know what? The Wall Street loves this kind of growth story. The only issue is that, you know, there's so much manipulation in Wall Street that even though this growth story is really out of this world, you can have certain stocks that are like for example have great revenue and making a lot of money, but their stock price is in the toilet, and that's because of the fraud that goes on in Wall Street. And so that's why I don't like trading on the stock exchanges, because like you can look at the fundamental analysis of a company, see that I've seen companies with cash balances lower than all the stock. So if you bought their stock, you could liquidate the company and get a profit.
Yeah, that's actually really surprising sometimes, because markets are so irrational. At least the liquid stuff they have in the company minus the debt should be at the least valuation of the stock, isn't it? Like,
exactly. But that's not the case in quite a few cases I've seen it, and I'm like, wow. Only in Wall Street is that possible, where a stock like, for example, Netflix and what's it called, Tesla, where they're not making any money and they never have any projections to make any money, is insane. It has this insane valuation, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Whilst another stock, right? I mean, if you buy the stock and tell them, hey, you know what, we're going to vote to liquidate the company, you'll be rich. How's that work?
Yeah, but you're right. But it's we have to distinguish also between revenue and profits, because you can take the revenue and reinvest it for growth purposes, and so I think especially in young companies, revenue is more important than profits if you have a huge reinvestment percentage.
Well, I have to disagree with that, and let's move on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we already had a private talk about that, but in my opinion, profits are not very important for early companies. If you reinvest your money, this is deducted from the profit. You know, it does not mean that you are not profitable after all. It just means that you are reinvesting for growth purposes.
Okay, but they don't. These companies don't have any like future plans for profitability. They don't say, okay, well, on this time, by this metrics, we're going to be profitable. They don't have like, okay, well, if we get this many subscribers, we're going to be profitable. If we get this, we're going to be profitable. They don't have any of these exact date metrics to say, hey, this is when we're going to be profitable.
Yeah, that's true.
If you don't have that.
That's a different story, but that's true, because I mean, they should at least have something like that. And if they don't, you are right. Yes. So you also wanted to talk about something else, which is connected to security and scams. So maybe we can elaborate a little bit about that before we wrap up today's episode.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about a little bit of scams that are going on, because you're gonna see a lot of scams come into the Bitcoin space and the cryptocurrency space over time, because this is all about money. And I want everybody who watched this episode and watched this part not to be scammed. Please do not get scammed. Watch who you're dealing with, right? Be careful with your money. And even if you do believe in that this project, any project or anything, not more than 2%, please, of any of your risk capital. Please, not more than 2%. Yes. All right, and then this way you can always like walk away from and not get hurt. So with that being said, there's there's low tech scam happening in Canada, my former home country, where I am from. And what's happening is, believe it or not, people are this is a very low tech scam, and I love it. people are putting a message on the ATMs saying, "Hey, this thing is not functioning very well, but you can still deposit your money. Just deposit it to this QR code that's posted
That's crazy. That's
on the
crazy, man. Just
ATM."
think about it, man. I would have loved to see the QR code to see if there were actually deposits, but it starts at something simple like that. But guys, you watching that video, maybe in the comment section below that video, if we don't find it early enough to report it, you might even see any other scams where people writing a lot of comments with huge value involved, and in the end there is a WhatsApp address or email address, and yeah, exactly, that is it. So it's actually legit, sometimes even legit comments, but then in the end you get redirected to an email address or to a Telegram number or something like that. So you have scams literally everywhere, and on the way up within the bull market, they will take a lot of money from a lot of people, and please try to not be part of that.
Exactly. And you could tell whenever you see messages like this where that gets upvoted and lots of people supporting it, all you have to do is right click these names, right? And then go, let's see, who's this guy? And, oh, 0 subscribers. He's not watching any videos. What the hell? And look at this. Look at this guy, this girl with this beautiful picture. Okay, let's take a look at this person, right? Oh my God. She hasn't done anything.
Hey, she has 1 subscriber.
Just subscribe to 1 channel. What the heck?
Yeah, you're right. It's very easy to spot, guys. What you can also do is ignore each and every message where there is an email address, a Telegram handle, or a WhatsApp number involved. Ignore every single one of these things, and then you will be already a little bit more safe when it comes to that. DaVinci, can we also go back into the face mode before we wrap up today's episode, because time is ticking already? So do you have any updates maybe regarding Pandora's wallet? The most important.
Yes, we're going to be releasing an update probably this Monday, right? Just to fix a few small minor issues. And yeah, if you're interested in purchasing Pandora's wallet, because you know what? All this space, right? We need software developers and people like me to produce applications that will benefit users, and we need more development in this space, more things to allow people to get in, because without that, just buying Bitcoins and using the Bitcoins the way it is really difficult for your grandmother to use. And so we need innovators like myself, and you could help us by purchasing our products and supporting our software. And then, we're working really hard to get this software better and better each day, and eventually it's going to be something amazing.
It is already something amazing, and it will get more amazing as the time passes, because what it is doing right now is exactly doing what you said. It is fulfilling its purpose. It's making trading easier. It's making storing your Bitcoin and altcoins easier, because you can basically trade your altcoins and your Bitcoin from the wallet. You have everything at one single place, and it is very secure. So everyone who wants to check it out, there is a link in the description, in the pinned comment, where you can get a free trial and then also decide whether or not to purchase Pandora's wallet. We did it, we like it, we are using it, and ever since the update, it 5x'd already in value. So that's very great. Thank you so much for that, DaVinci, and thank you for everyone for watching that episode, smashing the like button, joining the comment section, very important. And we have a very final shout out. Always there must be one shill, and as you know, we have this Bybit collaboration, but you also can participate at the $1,000 giveaway. 3 simple steps in the pinned comment. Make sure you join it, smash the like button, watch the Bybit tutorial right here, and then DaVinci, any last words before we wrap it up for today?
Yeah, don't get wrecked.
Do not get wrecked, guys. So we will see each other at the next episode of MMCrypto very, very soon. And as always, guys, bye-bye. Don't sell.